Hi everybody, it's the Ruthless Jobber here. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 10 of our Invasion series. It's King of the Ring 2001. Let's just get straight into it. We have a couple of pre-show matches. Buff Bagwell takes on Test. A pre-show bout that had decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling. Buff Bagwell defeated Test in 14 minutes 37 by pinfall. Yeah, we've got a 54 wrestling, 61 crowd, 58 overall. I don't choose the winners for these, by the way. Sometimes I might, but generally I don't choose the winners. Next up, thought I'd have a bit of a triple threat. We've got Lance Storm taking on Bull Buchanan, taking on Grandmaster Sexay. Pre-show bout didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling. Lance Storm defeated Bull Buchanan and Grandmaster Sexy in 11 minutes 59 when Lance Storm pinned Bull Buchanan. So Lance Storm was head and shoulders above everyone else, and Bull Buchanan was the weak link. So what do we get for Lance Storm? 63. 63 is quite low, so to be head and shoulders above everyone else with a 63 just means everyone else was really awful. 47 wrestling rating, 45 for the crowd, 55 overall. And the final pre-show match, yeah, I thought we'd use a couple of bigger stars here. We've got a couple of major stars in the WCW team. It's Booker T teaming with Scott Steiner to take on Perry Saturn and Taz. A pre-show bout that had good heat and decent wrestling. World Championship Wrestling defeated Perry Saturn and Taz in 13 minutes 45 when Scott Steiner pinned Taz. Again, I didn't choose the winner. I knew that this team would probably be given the win by the AI because they're far superior in terms of pop. So the wrestling was 64, the crowd was 72. And the overall rating for this one, 73. Scott Steiner with a 77. Booker T a 68. All good. Let's move into the main show. We kick off with an opening hype video. Don't know why this is scored so low. I know there's a couple of people here that are lower down the card. Okay, bit of a shame. But yeah, 65 for the opening hype video. A Rabid Challenge storyline advanced with this segment but lost heat. The Rabid Challenge storyline is the only one that doesn't have any WCW guys in, so it's the only one that would have advanced in this particular opening video. And we kick off with King of the Ring semi-finals. Christian takes on Eddie Guerrero in a decent match. Eddie Guerrero defeated Christian in 9 minutes 43 by pinfall. So yeah, this is putting Guerrero into the final. Who will he face? 64 wrestling, 67 for the crowd, 71 overall. Both people they're getting mid-60s scores. And then we've got a pre-King of the Ring semi-final promo against RVD for Kurt Angle. Nothing more to say about this one, just a pre-match promo, 65 rating. And the match, 65 again. Yeah, nothing special. Great heat and decent wrestling. Kurt Angle defeated Rob Van Dam in 11 minutes 38 by pinfall with a surprise cradle. This was our storytelling match, and yes, it was the other semi-final, so Kurt Angle will face Eddie Guerrero in the final. Kurt Angle is the current king of the WWF. Can he retain? Unfortunately, they didn't click, which obviously didn't help with the rating. 59 wrestling, 81 crowd, 65 overall. And then we've got a post-match angle just with Kurt Angle celebrating in the ring. He's got his crown on. He's so confident that he's going to keep it. 67 rating. Albert and the Big Show take on the Dudley Boys just in sort of a token tag team match. In a decent match, Albert and Big Show defeated the Dudley Boys in 13 minutes 30. Big Show forced Bubba Ray Dudley to submit after interference from Sean Stasiak. During the match, we also saw Mark Jindrak run in and attack Devon Dudley. And Booker T also attacked the Big Show. Yes, just try and get a couple of storylines advanced there. A couple of the WWF versus WCW storylines we've got going. So yeah, we've got 56 wrestling, 65 crowd, 65 overall. 75 rating for a 2-minute angle, which is backstage, and it's Chris Jericho just cutting a promo on Edge. Obviously, Christian was involved in the King of the Ring, gave Edge an opportunity for a singles match, and he faces Chris Jericho next. 75 for this one. 67 for the match, for the overall segment. I was really hoping for a bit more maybe out of these two. I know Jericho's major star and I think Edge is well known. Possibly he's recognisable. I just thought someone like Edge would get something really good out of this. We've brought Jim Cornette up from the development mainly so we can put him on the booking team. Might have to take him off of road agent duties though. 69 wrestling, 76 crowd, 67 overall. But we had good heat, decent wrestling. Chris Jericho defeated Edge in 12 minutes 35 by submission. And we also had Kevin Nash distract Chris Jericho. Again, just get that storyline advanced. But unfortunately, it lost heat. Triple H and Rikishi both have pre-Intercontinental title match promos. Not going to go too deep into this one. 55 overall. And the match, wow, that's better. 75 for the segment rating. Triple H against Rikishi. About that good heat and decent wrestling. Triple H defeated Rikishi in 14 minutes 5 seconds by pinfall. And this is defense number 4 of the Intercontinental title from Triple H. Yeah, 64 wrestling, 73 crowd, 75 overall. And then Raven cut a pre-hardcore title match promo against Rhino. Gene Okerlund sort of caught up with him backstage and gives an opportunity for Raven to talk about how he plans to defeat Rhino for the hardcore title. 62 rating. The match gets a 66. Not bad for two sort of undercard guys. In a decent match, Rhino defeated Raven in 9 minutes 19 by pinfall. And this is defense number 4 of the hardcore title. We've got a WCW video promo. This is paid for by Shane McMahon because, of course, Vince isn't going to have a WCW promo video on one of his shows, but this was paid for by Shane McMahon directly to the pay-per-view providers. That's the kayfabe story, right? 65 overall. It was just to get a few of these guys sort of faces on the card. Yeah, a lot of the big boys here. 65 rating. The Hardy Boys take on the Hollies in a tag team encounter. In a decent match, the Hardy Boys defeated the Hollies in 10 minutes 17. Jeff Hardy pinned Hardcore Holly. And this was a high spots match we put in for this one. And Jeff Hardy was head and shoulders above everyone else. 74 for Jeff Hardy, not too bad. 55 wrestling, 57 crowd, 66 for the segment. And then Gene Okerlund hosts interviews from both Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. They're there together. They are cutting promos on each other ahead of the King of the Ring final. 59 rating. This show isn't going too well. I'm not going to enjoy seeing the final score, I don't think. 76 for the match, though. Much better. In a bout that had great heat and good wrestling, Eddie Guerrero defeated Kurt Angle in 14 minutes 56 by pinfall. Eddie Guerrero wins the WWF King of the Ring title. 75 wrestling, 77 crowd, 76 overall. Needed that. We needed a score like that. Kurt Angle getting an 82. That's absolutely fantastic. Keep that name in mind when we come to the post-show. The post-show, whatever they call it. Talk to the backstage. I can't remember what they call that segment now. We'll get there in a minute. Post-match, Eddie Guerrero is celebrating, and then, of course, Scott Steiner comes out to trash the place. Mick Foley, incidentally, was crowning Guerrero as, celebrating, putting the crown on him, giving him the orb and the scepter. Guerrero does get revenge, smashing the scepter over Steiner's head. 69 overall for this one, and this storyline gained heat, and lots of green there. All good to see. This was awful. Sting pre-match promo on Kane. How did that only get a 49? This is Sting. What is going on with this save? Sting was penalised for poor improvisation and morale and low locker. That's what it is. It's the locker room morale. That's what's killing this show, because I had that with the WCW save. Gotta fix that. The match getting a 76 though, much better. In a bout that had fantastic heat and decent wrestling, Kane defeated Sting in 11 minutes 58 when Sting intentionally got counted out. During the match, we also had Scott Steiner distract Kane. So a very good match here. Pleased with this one. Two storylines gaining heat. 70 wrestling, 87 crowd, 76 overall. This one obviously isn't over. Kane wants to beat Sting 1, 2, 3, but he didn't get it tonight. Steve Austin with a pre-world title match promo against Chris Benoit. Gets an 87. Yeah, much better. You don't really expect anything less from Steve Austin. Does he successfully defend the title, though? Of course he does. 81 overall here in an exceptional match. Steve Austin defeated Chris Benoit in 15 minutes 57 by pinfall after Deborah interfered. And it's defense number 2 of the World Heavyweight title for Steve Austin. 87 wrestling and 90 crowd. 81 overall. Yeah, really pleased with that. The storyline's gained heat. This is the end of King of the Ring. It felt a bit flat, I must admit, as I was reading through it. There wasn't much kind of going on. And I've said it every episode so far. Once the WCW guys start really integrating and, you know, we have a lot more WCW versus WWF matches, I'm really confident we can improve things. I've got to do something about that backstage morale, though. That is not good. Let's see what we get overall for the show. 80. Oh, I think we just about scraped that. We just about scraped not having any loss in popularity. Yeah, I think for anything less, I think we would have lost popularity in a couple of regions. So there it is, King of the Ring. Eddie Guerrero is your new king. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do anything with that gimmick-wise. I might have to think about it. Let's get on to the post-show stuff then. Address the locker room. I can't remember who else did well. I guess Kurt Angle, definitely. Let's say, tell me he was awesome. I didn't check everybody. I imagine Eddie Guerrero probably did well. Who else did we have? Let's give Kane. I know his match with Sting wasn't brilliant. Maybe give him a hug. And Sting, oh, I'm going to give him some encouragement. Is that going to... What's that going to do? Oh, they're all pleased. Okay, that's fine. I was just worried that Sting might be a bit like, oh, yeah, encouragement. I thought I was awesome. You know, but no, that's... Yeah, it's a bit of a relief, actually. Financial report, we made nearly 3 million in one pay-per-view. Absolutely fantastic. Popularity recap, we didn't get any changes at all. Oh, the media scrum, I hate these. The commentary of Paul Heyman was pretty weak. Oh, come on. I thought we did a good job. Word is that the WWF locker room is an absolute mess and the morale is at rock bottom. How do you respond to this? I will sort it out. Positive response, that's good. We saw Taz have an off night tonight. When did Taz wrestle? Is his inconsistency going to hold him back in WWF? I have faith that he will become more consistent. It's being said that there are currently some tension between Kevin Nash and Ric Flair. What are your thoughts? They need to sort out their issues. We will be making an effort. Will you be making an effort to keep Buff Bagwell on the roster? His deal is coming towards its final month, is it? I don't have massive plans for him, but I didn't really want to rock the boat as far as the WCW team are concerned at the moment. He's part of the family. Whatever. Edge was off his game tonight. Everyone has off nights. Yeah, give him a break. The media scrum's been completed. God for that. Looks like DirecTV are unhappy. We didn't meet their minimum requirement. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Drug test fees, heat viewing figures, King of the Ring buy rate, and the viewing figures for that. Okay, fine. We've got a decision here. I don't think I've offered out any contracts. Ah, as an incident. Okay. Identified as a steroid user. Stern warning. Negative impact. Right, I need to do something about this backstage. I don't know what yet. I've got to be completely honest. Let's have a quick look. What we've got. Abysmal. Damaging penalties to segments. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? We've got a lot of poor relationships. We've got a lot of negative influences. I'm going to shake up this roster. Let's sort Jim Cornette out. Because I only really signed him to have him down as a... to go onto the booking team to give me some more creative energy. So it looks like I've already got everyone here. So where's Jay for Jim Cornette? Yeah, you are not a road agent, mate. Take him off that. What are his skills, by the way, just before I kind of... it's only his experience that's really low. I mean, all right, granted it's zero, but it's zero. But, you know, everything else, that's a shame. Okay, well, I mean, we'll probably mainly... I don't even know if I'm going to use him as a personality. I was about to say we'll mainly use him as a personality, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe have him as a manager, but it was really just to put him on that booking team. I then went ahead and released quite a few of our workers. Actually, there we had so many negative influences. I couldn't get rid of them all. We had to get rid of the Big Boss Man, Earl Hebner, Haku, Hugh Morris, Michelle Starr, he was only a jobber anyway. Molly Holly, which leaves the Hollies without a manager, but we could live with that. Simon Diamond, he was just another jobber. Steve Blackman, Taz, which probably means we need to look at our announcing teams. Teddy Long, we wasn't really doing anything with him. He was down as a manager, but he wasn't sort of connected with anyone. And Val Venus. So we got rid of quite a few of the negative influences. Hopefully that will have some sort of impact. Whether it be enough, I don't know yet. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Not been the best in the world, I fully admit that. Once this, I know I'm just going to sound like a broken record, but once we get the WCW guys fully integrated, I really am confident. You know, give it a few more episodes of time, things are really going to start to kick off, and I can sort of like look to plan new stories, and we'll end a couple of stories, and yeah, really, really push this invasion on. So I hope you will continue to join me on this journey. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Goodbye.